Looking for the perfect gift for someone you love? Perhaps you're in search of something unique to treat yourself. Discover the beauty of uniquely created hand-stamped jewelry. Locally owned and crafted with love, our collection features rings, bracelets, keychains, and pendants made from durable aluminum and paired with natural beads. Enjoy necklaces on sterling silver-plated chains and earrings with sterling silver hooks for a touch of elegance. Each piece is hand-stamped and one of a kind, making it uniquely yours. Plus, we offer custom orders, and we ship nationwide. Find us on Facebook and Instagram today and fall in love with your perfect piece, uniquely created just for you. Uniquely created hand-stamped jewelry in Crossville.
I wanted to highlight all of the new stuff and, of course, encourage everyone to come out and, experience all of it and really support the homesteads. Like I said, this is our only fundraising event for the year, and if we don't have a successful Apple Festival, it's really hard for us to continue to operate. So it's really important for so many reasons, and of course, it's a lot of fun.
Welcome to What's Up Crossville, your go-to podcast for all the happenings in our quaint Tennessee town. Whether you've been here for generations or have just moved to enjoy our slower, friendlier pace of life, this is the place to connect with the heart and soul of Crossville. Here, we dive deep into the facts, share true stories, and get to know our neighbors a little bit better. Each episode aims to inform, inspire, and entertain, steering clear of the negative noise and controversies often found outside in the world today. This is Melissa Ellis, and I'm here to ask, what's up, Crossville?
This is What's Up Crossville, and today I have Andrea Tatro of the Cumberland Homestead Tower Association Board. You were formerly the vice president, and now you are the secretary.
Yeah, that's right. We had some changes on the board, and so Ron Durant is also a board member. He's now our vice president, and I moved into the secretary role. And we're also very excited to welcome you, Melissa Ellis.
Thank you so
to
much.
the board of directors, which is so amazing with all of your festival experience and all that. We're so excited. So we've got a really, really great board in place right now, and I'm just thrilled to be now reelected for my second 3-year term.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you've been with them for a very long time. That was going to be one of my first questions was, how long have you been with? Okay. So tell me a little bit about your role or even your previous role with the association. Please tell me.
Absolutely. So we moved here from Illinois in April of 2020, and we moved on to beautiful Sawmill Road in the Homesteads. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't know anything about the Homestead community at the time, but I have some wonderful neighbors, Brenda King, who is our president, Sheila Long, who is our treasurer, and they soon figured out that I had experience in event planning and that, I really did want to be able to contribute to this community that we moved to that I knew I was going to be in for hopefully the rest of my life. And so I was kind of voluntold to be on the board, and they put me right in as vice president. So it was an interesting 3 years. My very first Apple Festival, I had never even been to an Apple Festival. So I was able to really help implement some awesome new things that, of course, we can talk about. And so I've been through 3 Apple Festivals now, so this one will be our 4th one. And like I said, I just moved into the secretary position, so still all the same responsibilities, really. I just have to take minutes during our meetings and stuff like that. But it's been a wild ride, especially coming out of COVID. So I've been really excited to be a part of it because it's something that's so huge for our community.
Yeah. On a personal level, what brought you guys here?
Yeah. I get asked that all the time. We just knew we had to get out of Illinois.
Okay.
And my son was about to start school, and my parents live in West Tennessee.
I was like, get it together, Lewis and Clark.
I know. I was like, what? So we knew we wanted to be close to them, but not too close. And we wanted to be able to kind of have that small town feel, country living, all of those good things. And Crossville just checked all the boxes for us. And I always say this to everybody, and I type it and everything. It's the best decision that we ever made.
Really? I like that. That's awesome. I love hearing how transplants come here, and I love it even more when they come in and they jump in with both feet. And I mean, you're not the first one I've spoken to that's like, I wanted to get involved with the community. I wanted to bring what I knew to the table and say, what can I do to make Crossville better? So what makes the Homestead Apple Festival a unique and special event for the Crossville community?
Like I said, I didn't even know how important it was, but this year is our 20th annual Apple Festival. So it is a staple in our community. It is something that's expected. The only year that we didn't have it was during the height of COVID, and that's when I had moved here anyways. And so it's really something that everyone in the community looks forward to. And we have so many vendors that are local, even just local in Tennessee. Some come from, farther away than Crossville, but they look forward to it because it's an event that really has something for everyone. And it also supports all of our local vendors. They get some entertainment. We've now implemented the pageant. So it's just something that I think is almost expected now in our community, and it's expected to get better and bigger every year, which of course is always our goal. But I think too, it reminds people of the importance of the homestead community. And I'm not gonna lie, we have people say all the time, like, you guys should move this to the fairgrounds. No. It's going to be in the homesteads. This is the Apple Festival celebrating the Cumberland Homestead community. It's never going to be anywhere other than there because we want to bring people here.
Yes.
People come there to when they go to the Apple Festival that have lived here that never have ever even gone in the tower before. And they go in the tower for the first time because you get access to the tower for free when you come to the Apple Festival. So it's preserving and protecting and educating. And then, of course, we're throwing in lots of fun and lots of local support.
Now, you've only been doing it since after the height of COVID. Can you tell me how much? Well, I mean, I know that you can't give me like a 2-decade run look at it, but I'm very curious how much it's evolved since even you've taken it.
Mostly it's the amount of vendors. We've now grown. We're about maxed out on how many vendors we can fit in that space because it's not a ton of room.
No.
So we have to be very selective about our vendors, which people don't understand sometimes. I can't have 30 soap vendors, or 30 candle vendors. So it's definitely, I think the diversity of the vendors have changed. The amount, so we're up to 225 plus about 15 food vendors. So just the size of it has grown, and I think the reach of it as well with social media and stuff like that. More and more people know about it. Last year was our record attendance ever. We had 14,000 people over the weekend. I don't even know how that's possible.
Well, I know my family was 6 of those.
Exactly, yeah. So it's just really evolved into something that everybody really wants to come and be a part of in some way. We also have over 100 volunteers that help us with it. We have Blue Life Security that takes care of all the security and the parking. So it's just grown into something that everybody really values. And then, of course, we're always adding new entertainment and adding the pageant, and we have a new kids zone this year. So it's just always something that we're trying to improve on, but then still stay true to kind of the original intent for the festival itself.
So let's talk about the kids zone, because I know that you got really excited about that.
Yes.
I want to hear about it.
Yes. So when I joined the board and we were planning for Apple Festival the very first year, my focus was kids activities and food, because those are the things that I care about.
Right.
When I
And
go
we
to a
like
festival.
kids activities because it gives us free time to enjoy the food. You guys do
Exactly.
this so I can eat.
And we want it to be a family event.
Yes.
That's, of course, should always be our goal. We're big, I think Crossville's a great family-centric community. And so that was really my goal. So this year we're doing something a little different. We've done away with the bounce houses because those are a liability and it was just causing too many issues if electricity went out and stuff like that.
Right.
So I said, okay, what are we going to have in place of that? And so we're working with a vendor called Days Gone By Good Old Fashioned Fun. And they've set up like in Pigeon Forge and Sevierville. They're really well known kind of in the bigger areas. And their motto is keeping things simple in our complex world. And I love that because it fits our theme. It's not some crazy thing that you can see at the fair or the carnival or like anything like that.
Right.
So what they're going to do is they're going to set up a whole list of family-friendly activities and games, all like simple kind of old-fashioned stuff. Like they've got like a ball toss and pin the tail on the donkey. They bring a whole bunch of wooden train sets for the kids to be able to play with. They have these adorable wooden cutout cows that you can milk. They have this cute little like kitchen cooking area, but they also have stuff for like the bigger kids where we're going to have some hula hoops, and they've got all these cornholes, and they've got that giant Connect 4, and the list goes on and on. I mean, I have the list here in front of me, and it's really incredible what they're able to set up. And so that's what I'm really excited about, because not only is it new, it's not the same old bounce houses that we've always had, and it really fits in with that theme. So I was so excited, especially for the 20th annual, to find something like this that just worked so perfectly. And we got the cost of it covered by a sponsor, Stowers, here in Crossville. They rent like Caterpillar equipment. They are sponsoring the Kids Zone, so now all of our attendees can go in and enjoy all of this stuff for free when they pay to get into the festival.
Incredible. And I like that simply because even as a parent, and I can vouch for this, I look for some of the most complex things to keep my kids occupied with. When I look back at my life as a child, I was okay that I had a bike and dirts and sticks out in my yard, and we found plenty to do with that. And I'm not saying that the kids are going to be playing with dirt and stick, but you know, it's basic stuff. And like you said, it's stuff that they're not used to because they're not going to bouncy houses. It's not. I remember one year it was a jumping. I can't remember what that was, but you know, kind of a slingshot thing. Not.
Yeah, like one of those trampoline things.
The trampoline
that was
thing.
before my time. But
yeah, I remember that because I think my kid was really young, and that kid I'm speaking of is now like going off to college. So yeah, you know, these kids, they just want to play, and they really just get excited to play with other kids who want to play. So that's awesome.
Well, I just love too that it's getting them away from anything electronic. You know, we're all on our screens and all that type of stuff. So I was super excited about that. So that'll be in our Kid Zone, and then we also have, you know, the kind of traditional balloon animals, and we have a face painter. We have a free craft. We have the guy setting up who does fairy hair. It's like the glittery stuff that the kids love. And then I also just secured a new vendor. She does those walking balloons. They're little like animals, and the kids absolutely love them. So we had a vendor do it a couple of years ago, but it wasn't her main thing. This girl is setting up, and it's all just like all this variety of little walking balloons that the kids are just going to absolutely love.
Okay, so I'm going to have to bring cash.
Yes.
Because I have a feeling even my 10-year-old is going to want a walking dinosaur.
Oh, yeah. You see one kid walking around, all the kids are going to want it.
Like,
So I kind of feel bad for the parents, but they're going to love it, and they're so cute. And when you mention cash, absolutely. We have over 200 vendors, so I can't guarantee that they all take cards. I'm not even sure about that particular one.
Right.
And it is cash at the gates.
Awesome.
We tried to implement an online ticket ordering system, but technology throws in a lot of obstacles that we just weren't prepared for.
Right.
So we're going to just stay old school with it. So it is $5 at the gate for anyone 10 and younger get in for free. So anyone about 11 and older, it is $5 at the gate.
Okay.
But that's for both days. So if you come on Saturday, you keep your ticket, you can come back on Sunday.
Awesome. We have a variety of entertainment lined up for both Saturday and Sunday. I remember years ago, and I can't even remember what year it was, we even had Amy Grant show up.
Oh yeah, I mean that was a long time ago. Someone's told me the year. That was way before I came on board. But yeah, that's what I always hear, and I love it. She had some ties to someone in the Homesteads. I'm not exactly sure the story of it, but I know everyone absolutely loved her. Unfortunately, we would not be able to afford anyone like that now.
But you guys aren't exactly scratching the bottom of the barrel, because this year you guys have the 2019 winner of The Voice, Jay Coote.
Yes, I'm so excited for that.
So how did you guys get him?
Well, yeah.
Offered an apple.
Yes, exactly. We just got in contact with someone, the gentleman who booked all of our entertainment. I'm sure had some type of relationship with him, and he was able to book him and, you know, some other really great performers as well. It's all new that I know off the top of my head this year. That we haven't had any of them at Apple Festival before. So hopefully it'll kind of bring in a good variety of different types of music and stuff like that. But obviously, yeah, Jay Coote, he is on Sunday, right in the middle of the day, 12:15 to 1:45. Okay. So if you guys want to come see Jay Coote, make sure you come on Sunday. And then on Saturday, we have some good entertainers as well. And Saturday morning, we have the 3rd annual Apple Festival pageant.
Oh, tell me a little bit about the the pageant, like that's a new thing. Like I remember it started after COVID.
Yeah. So this is the third annual. So the first year that I was on the board and went to Apple Festival, we didn't have it. And my friend Tara, who's very knowledgeable, her daughter's in all of the pageants, came to me and said, will you let us set up a pageant at Apple Festival? And I'm not going to lie, my first reaction was, oh, really? Because, like, I'm a boy mom. You're a boy mom.
I wouldn't understand it.
I don't understand it. Like, I know nothing about it. And obviously, all of our plates are full with everything else we do. And so, we just talk back and forth. And her friend Brianna run all of it. It has been a huge success. And what I love about it is it's not, when you think of a pageant, you think of all the glitziness and the makeup and all that. It's very, very toned down, in my opinion. Good. I mean, it's an outdoor festival. You're on a wooden stage. It's very low key compared to, I think, other ones. And what I love about it the most is that it brings in people who may not necessarily have plans to come to the Apple Festival.
Yeah.
And so that's on Saturday morning from 9 to 12. So you can come watch all the adorable. We have 6 different age groups. And I believe, off the top of my head, all age groups have spaces left, but by the time this airs, that may not be the case.
Yes.
So definitely check the Facebook page. There is an event just for the pageant, but it's only $25 to participate, and we have ages all the way from 0, I believe, to 18 or 19. So it's just a great addition that brings in extra people, and then they win, and then they get their little crowns and their sashes, and then they come back on Sunday and, like, walk around the festival and, like, show off all of their stuff, and I absolutely love it. I just fell in love with it, and I'm really shocked at that because of my preconceived notion about it. But then they all come on Saturday morning, they compete in the pageant, and then they stay the rest of the day and enjoy the festival with their family.
Yes.
So it's just been a wonderful addition that has really surprised me, and I think everybody else too. And it ended up really fitting in well with the theme, I think, because it's more low-key than those bigger pageants.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's for those of you who, if there is still an opening at the time, if you're new to the whole pageant arena, this is a good, icebreaker for you.
Absolutely, that's a great point, and it really, really is, because it's not as high pressure and stressful and all of that. We just want the girls to have fun, obviously, and then walk around like little adorable Apple Festival queens.
Right. Now, I jumped the gun talking about the pageant, and we were still talking about entertainment. So, I was like, so I probably should talk about the other entertainment that we have. So, go ahead and tell me a little bit about who all we have scheduled.
We have Braden Wall and Robbie Myers.
Robbie Myers, fabulous songwriter. He's played at the Bluebird, so I mean, he's reputable, and I do believe he is originally from here. So, you've got, hometown guy.
And then on Sunday, we have Alex Napier and Daybreak. And then, of course, we have Jay Coote. And then we have the Cumberland Outlaw Band.
You guys got one heck of a good list.
Yep, I think so. Like I said, I think it's a good variety. And with, Jay Coote in the mix, hopefully that'll draw some people in and get him exposed even to new people. And then, I think I've seen the Cumberland Outlaw Band out here at Friday at the Crossroads, so I'm really excited for them just because I'm slightly familiar with them.
Yeah. We've talked about what we got for the kids. We've talked about the pageant. We've talked about the entertainment. Let's talk about the vendors. There seems to be a wide variety of Apple-themed items. What are the must-try treats and unique products available this year?
Absolutely. So, obviously, Apple Festival, we encourage all of our vendors to have as many Apple products as possible. And we're talking all the way from Apple candles to those wax melts. So I know we have some jewelry vendors who offer Apple jewelries. We have beautiful vendors that make wreaths that you can put on your front door with apples. From a local orchard, we're going to have a variety of fresh apples. Now, I don't know yet what types we will have.
Okay.
Our president is going next week to talk to them and see, but we'll have, kind of all the ones. Hopefully we'll have all the ones we have last year that were a really big hit. So we will have the fresh apples. We also bring in from another local orchard fresh pressed apple cider that always sells out on Saturday. And I'm sorry that happens, but I don't want to be stuck with it afterwards. But that's how good it is. And we've upped our order this year. So for both fresh apples and the apple cider, you got to get there Saturday. and early if you can. We also, both days, are offering fried apple pies.
That's
the
what
little,
I love.
Yeah, the hand pies. Everybody loves those. We have 2 different people that do it, so then we at least have some for both days. Then one of our biggest hit vendors is Heavenly Bites by Cora out of Cookville.
Okay.
She has the beautiful setup where it's all the candied apples and caramel apples,
Yes.
every topping you can possibly think
Yes.
of. And she does good. She rarely sells out. She might sell out of a particular flavor, but she's set up at this festival for years now. So she knows that she needs to bring a ton of those.
Oh my
So you
gosh.
make sure, and she's over near we try to group all the we kind of try to group all the apple stuff together,
Right.
but then all of the vendors can be offering different things. I have a new donut vendor who, for the first time ever, is offering apple cider donuts.
Oh, wow.
So I'm so excited for that. They're a little donut vendor out of Cookville. They have promised me they're going to have apple cider donuts and caramel apple donuts. So you want to make sure that you hit up that one as well. Yep. And then, like I said, just a wide variety of jewelry, home decor, candles, really everything and anything that, you could possibly want apple related. They're going to try to bring that in. And then we also host an apple pie contest. The board does.
Oh.
And so there's information on that on our Facebook page. The winners get cash money, top 3 winners. And we usually have about 10 to 12 submissions for that. And then we turn around and cut them and sell them at Apple Festivals. We'll have some fresh apple pies as well. A lot of vendors. 225 vendors, and it's a wide range of, crafters. Some people have antiques, some photographers set up with all their beautiful photography. We have authors set up, and we have a permanent jewelry vendor that's setting up. And just today, I booked a vendor.
Here.
She sets up one of those trucker hat bars.
Yes.
Which I had to educate myself a little bit on, but you've got your trucker hat. It's, I think, essentially a baseball hat.
Yeah.
And then you can put charms on it and patches on it, and you
That's
decorate
a
it.
thing right now.
It's a thing, and I
know
didn't
Morning
know.
Sage does it.
Yes.
They have a trucker hat, thing. I know that Lindsay Arms of the Pretty Clothes Shop had a trucker hat bar. I guess that's what they call it.
I guess so. Yeah.
And the dressing room has even done it. So yeah, it's a thing. The ladies love it.
Yes, absolutely. I just booked her today, so I'm super excited because I realized how popular that was. And I love that you can walk up to something and customize something that you're going to love there in the moment. She has like a heat press, and she does it all right there. So you're not just picking up something that somebody else has created.
Right.
You're getting to take something home that is special to you, which I love.
You guys had axe throwing, correct? Was that last year?
Yeah.
It seemed like, yeah. So are you guys going to have that again this year?
Yep, same exact vendor for the axe throwing. They are excited to come back. They were a huge hit last year. I feel like you got to have axe throwing at Apple Festival. I implemented that. It was a different company, I think, the year before. And then we also have back this year. They couldn't come last year. They're out of Chattanooga. It's the little ATV train ride, and it's only like $5. The kids love it. One of my favorite Apple Festival memories is that we allow dogs. Well, we allow pets, actually, leashed pets, as long as they're on their best behavior and you're cleaning up after them.
Well, I keep my kids on a leash too.
Okay,
No,
that's
I'm
fine.
joking.
That's fine. As long as everybody's well behaved, that's all I care about. But my favorite memory is somebody put their dog in the ATV train
goodness.
ride and took a video of it, and I think I shared it on Facebook. It was so cute.
That is funny.
Yeah, so the kids love the train ride. So that's another good kids activity as well that I do.
In the world of small business, every day feels like a whirlwind. Owners are constantly balancing tasks, struggling to find time for what matters most. But in this busy season, relief arrives. Introducing the Autumn Agency's Small Business Division. Imagine a team that not only designs websites and masters SEO, but also provides essential business tools and strategies. With the Autumn Agency, owners gain access to expert business consultants who offer personalized strategies and tools to optimize operations. From marketing plans to financial insights, our consultants empower you to make informed decisions that drive growth. Digital marketing, social media, branding, e-commerce, every aspect of your business is perfected. Visit us today at theautumnagency.co and let us be your autumn.
So we share the festival grounds. Some of it is owned by us, the Tower Association, so it's part of the tower there, but then the rest of it, and the majority of it, is actually owned by Homestead Elementary.
Right.
So, of course, we get their permission to use it, and they support us, and they're actually setting up a booth this year as a fundraiser and all that good stuff. So huge shout out to Homestead Elementary for everything that they do to support us. But there was a playground that then was usually almost in the middle of Apple Festival.
Yes.
And it got broken and was very, very dangerous for the children. So the Board of Education decided to take it out. And so it's a good thing to point out because people usually expect to see it there. We're going to do
Yeah.
something a little different with that space. We're still working on that, but that is a good thing to point out. And I know
Right.
some people will be sad about that. Unfortunately,
But we still have days gone by old-fashioned fun.
Exactly,
So
yes. Still plenty of stuff
You
for the
won't
kids
miss
to do.
it.
No.
You won't miss it. And it's the same playground that these kids can play at in their own schools. So
Exactly.
not a big deal. And it does. It opens up a lot more space for more vendors, more food. Let's talk about the food.
Okay.
Let's talk about our food vendors. I really want, it's like, so I can make my plans. I know that they're not a food vendor, but I know last year we bought spices from a group. They just had like a spice table, and we loaded up.
Yeah.
And we're starting to run low on them, and I'm really got my fingers crossed that those guys show back up. I know I can order online, but it just seems more exciting to sit there and talk to them and visit with them like we're old friends and then buy their spices.
Yep. I also booked a vendor who does those delicious candied pecans.
Oh,
And she's
my
working on a
goodness.
new flavor even too. So I'm excited to get her.
Good times.
But we've got a lot of food options.
Do you have apples? I'm joking. That was a bad joke. Bad joke.
I know. I will. I can't guarantee for how long, but I will.
Yeah,
I
get there
guarantee.
early.
Yeah, but we've even upped our apple order, so
Right.
we're trying. But what people don't understand is if we have a whole bunch left over,
You're
we've
stuck with it.
You're stuck with it, and then we've wasted. And what we all need to remember is that this is a fundraiser for the Cumberland Homestead Tower Association.
Yes.
That's how we keep the lights on. That's how we operate the Tower Museum and the House Museum, how we pay our 3 employees. And this is our only fundraiser of the year.
Yes.
So, if Apple Festival isn't a success, it hurts a lot of the vendors that are there, and it really hurts us and hurts the association. And so that's why we put all of this hard work into it.
I know you had Bondi Bowls. Bondi Bowls was
Yes.
mentioned.
Yes, Bondi Bowls will be back. Like Bloom Coffee will be back.
Oh, good. I'm drinking my Bloom coffee
of
right now
course.
as we do this interview.
Absolutely. We have Lulu's Fruit Smashes, those like big things where they put all the fruit in that are like delicious. We've got Pop Pops ice cream. We've got the big lunch lady vendor. She's kind of like the more like fair.
She was there last year,
Oh,
wasn't
yeah,
she? Because I thought, ooh, lunch lady. Because I know what we all think when we think of lunch lady, but we did order something, and I can't even remember what it was, but it was so good.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's got all the good fair type of food that you like
Yes.
really want at a festival. We have a new taco truck this year, so I'm super excited. And I'm going to try to pronounce their name right. I even sent a voice clip to her because I wanted to make sure I said it right. So it's El Rey Antojitos Mexicanos.
That sounds good to me.
Yes, it's they're new-ish, and you'll see them set up. They've set up here in Crossville, out in the Staples parking lot. They have a
Yes.
pink trailer.
Yeah, I drove by it yesterday. I was like, oh, because I'm a cotton candy nut, and I thought, oh, they got cotton candy. And as I got closer, I'm like, oh, it's Mexican food. It's tacos.
Yes.
My husband probably wanted to stop, but I was like, they don't have cotton candy.
No, they don't.
The pink was, yeah.
I'm
I
sure
felt
somebody-
deceived.
I'm sure somebody has cotton candy off. I can't remember off the top of my head,
hope
but
so.
they're all like authentic Mexicans. They've got the tacos. They've got those quesadilla tacos that are like super popular right now.
yeah.
So we're really excited to have them. We also booked a new mac and cheese truck.
Oh my gosh.
It's called Mama Mary's Mac Shack, and it's a whole variety of basically, this delicious mac and cheese, and then you get to pick like what you want on top of it. And I know, like off the top of my
That's a
head, they have
thing?
like pork and like some other things.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
that looks absolutely delicious. Like I'm definitely gonna hit that up. We have Chick-fil-A there, but just on Saturday. So if you
because,
want,
yeah, they don't want to do it on the Lord's Day.
yep, exactly. So if you want Chick-fil-A, which of course we always love it, and it's a huge hit, and
Right.
they do almost always run out of food. I mean, they don't bring enough to feed everybody.
Right.
But they like to set up and obviously share what they can. And then also for the first time this year, we've booked Brambleberry, because now they've got a little cafe out there.
Yes.
I don't have their full menu in front of me, but one of the things that stuck out is they're going to be doing their delicious Chicago-style Italian beef sandwiches.
Oh, my gosh.
And coming from Illinois, nobody down here can do Italian beefs.
No.
So I haven't tried it, which is surprising. My husband will definitely try it at Apple Festival. So I'm excited for that. So that's something different. We also have Dogum, who's going to be setting up. She's going to do, obviously, the hot dogs and nachos, but she also does amazing Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. Oh. And then we have Steel Mill. Yeah, that's it. Yes. We didn't have them last year. We had them the year before, so they've got burgers and all that good stuff, too. And then I think that's really it, kind of off the top of my head. I wanted to make sure I highlighted the new ones. We've got a lot of returning ones as well. So, and I'm not going to list them all. We will publish a list of everybody once we get that all finalized. Yes. We're still working on it. So it's definitely going to have a wide variety of food and drinks and all the good stuff that we usually have.
Woohoo. And again, bring cash just in case they don't take any kind of card, because you don't want to miss out on any of that food.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, a lot of times if they do have a card reader, the signal, the Wi-Fi signal is
horrible
not good in that field.
It's not.
And so they can't run their little, like, square thing, like scanners and, like, stuff like that. So definitely bring, cash if you can. It makes things quicker, too, I think, in my opinion. I know a lot of them have implemented the use of those so that people can use cards, but definitely bring cash if you can.
How about the photo shoot? You mentioned an antique tractor. You were actually really excited about that last night at the meeting.
I know. I really am.
Let's talk about it.
Absolutely. So the past 3 years, we've had a photographer that has been taking pictures with this gorgeous apple red vintage Ford pickup truck.
Oh, yeah.
Which I absolutely love it. But since we're 20th annual, I wanted something new this year. So we reached out to Smith's Tractor Farm out in, it's on the edge of the Homesteads. He has a wide variety of beautiful tractors. And then we picked out a tractor. It's a big green John Deere tractor with a 50-inch tires.
Oh, my
Which doesn't sound like a lot now that I say it, but I mean, they're huge.
No.
They're
That's
absolutely
massive.
Huge. So I'm hoping that really pops in pictures. And then we have a new photographer this year.
Oh.
We have Ashley Bilbrey. Her photography business is Ashley LaDawn Photography. I'm assuming that's her maiden name, and she just stuck with that. But she's a very well-known local photographer. Yeah. We needed a new one this year, and she jumped at the chance, and she takes beautiful, beautiful pictures. And so she's going to set up the tractor with, like, bales of hay and apples and all the fun fall stuff.
Do you not have coffee in your drink?
No. Just water.
No, you're like, I'm having a Monday 3.0 this week.
I need to slow down a little bit. Apple Festival, like, just scrambles my brain sometimes.
Well, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
It is a lot.
And I wanted to make sure I mention everything, but that photo shoot is going to be super cool. We're moving it to the other side of the base of the tower just so people can find it a little easier, and she's going to take some beautiful pictures with something a little different this year, which I think people will appreciate.
And you said it was the 20th annual of the Apple Fest. Now, this is also the 90th, am I correct, anniversary of the Cumberland Homestead community.
Right, absolutely. So it was established 90 years ago, back when FDR was setting up the kind of New Deal communities where he was trying to help people after the Depression. So it just happened to coincide with this 90th annual, which of course is huge. I mean, that means that the Cumberland Homesteads are not only a huge piece of history, but of Cumberland County's history.
Yes.
And that we have kept it alive all these years. We don't have all of the homestead houses that we originally had, but we have a really good amount of them. And people have added on to them and really made them their own. And so I think it's really impressive that it's kind of endured all of this time, and it is Tennessee's largest historic district.
Is it?
So hopefully, we can continue this for a lot more years to come, and we're really starting to focus more on education and community outreach, and want to make sure that all the kids at the schools understand the importance of the homesteads. And so it just happened to coincide that it was the 90th anniversary of the community, along with the 20th annual of the Apple Festival. So it's just this, like, perfect storm.
It's
so
a
that's
big
why
year.
it is.
It's a big year for us.
It's big. It's big for so many reasons, and so that's just another kind of thing that we want to educate people on. We just ran a local news. A news team came out from Knoxville, and they did a story about it. I shared that on our Facebook page. We also were in a local publication to tell the whole story. So we just want people to remember what it's kind of all about in the end, and that's why we want Apple Festival to be even bigger and better this year. I'm not sure how we're going to top it after this, but we will do our best, but we just want to make sure that this one, since it was so special.
We are up for the challenge. For first-time visitors, I am curious, what kind of tips would you give them? Well, and this is a kind of an important part because there's been some traffic issues. Now that I was mentioning, it's like we just want to give tips and tricks to this, but now I'm thinking, and any parent from the Homestead area, because I'm sure that it's been a nightmare for them.
Yeah.
My kids no longer go to Homestead, so,
Yes.
but
Yes.
there's been a lot of construction, and there's something different going on. There's not a, not a through.
Yes, and so that's all important. So the good thing is, though, the Friday before Apple Festival, the kids are not in school that day. It's an in-service day. And so that is good, so we don't have all the kids out there running around. So that's when we load in all of our vendors. You really want to try to avoid the area, mostly, though, on like Saturday morning if you're not coming to Apple Festival, because construction will be done. They're almost done as of right now, and definitely by Apple Festival, it will be done. It's so nice out there. The lanes that they have widened, they've added sidewalks, which is great for people. Are like, why are there sidewalks? I want sidewalks for Apple Festival so people aren't walking on a highway.
Yeah, it's scary.
You know, so it's going to make it so much safer. It may not be 100%, logical as to why there's sidewalks out there, but for Apple Festival, it would be great. And they have installed a traffic light.
Yes.
So we're hoping that that will help also as well, the traffic that's going to accumulate for the festival. My biggest tip for anybody coming is to just be patient. Even with the widened lanes, it's going to get backed up. There's just so many. There's not enough options to get to that area. It's just those 3 roads basically to get into it. And so we hire Blue Life Security. They provide 24-hour security at the festival for our vendors, for our attendees, for everybody. But then they're also going to be handling parking. And parking is always
it's always an issue, no matter any event.
Right, and it's true. But in the end, there's not. And this is what I always tell people. In the end, I can't build a parking garage on a historic property.
No.
Like like I said, we had 14,000 people last year.
Yeah,
there's no way we can park that many people and it just be no congestion, super smooth, everybody happy.
it's a small space for
it-
everything that's in it.
It is. So we're utilizing, our biggest parking area is going to be behind Homestead Elementary. So if you're coming like from town, you would go kind of to the right of the tower, and then Blue Life will direct you on to park behind the school. We also utilize a field that is kind of kitty corner from the tower as well. So you'll see people parked there. But there used to be a kind of a road, it really wasn't a road, that went completely in front of the tower. That is no longer a cut through. And
I was
that's
shocked.
And it was really dangerous. We'd have semis blowing through there
I know.
when we're leaving the tower and when our visitors are trying to get in their cars, and it was very, very dangerous.
But it looks so good right now. Last night was the first time I'd been back in that area for, I'll be honest with you, maybe about a year.
Right. And people have been avoiding it, and I completely
Yes.
understand that. I can't avoid it. I live in the Homesteads, but it's going to be so much better, and people, will just have to be patient with it and get used to it. But that parking area, in front of the tower, it is going to be utilized just for certain people. So we aren't
Right.
letting kind of the masses park in there, but we still have plenty of parking. So you have to be patient. We have 3 different gates that you can get into. So depending on where you park, there'll be a gate not that far away. You pay your cash at the gate, and then you're in the festival. So you may just have to park a little bit farther away than maybe you would really want to. My suggestion then is to come on Sunday morning. That's the best time to come to the festival. That's my favorite part, because you can walk around and really enjoy things, and there's not as many people, and there's plenty of parking. But then obviously, people come after church, and then it gets
Yes.
busy and all that good stuff. And we want people to come for J. Coot. So, it's never going to be perfect. I wish that I could fix that and make everybody happy on that, but you just have to be patient. And if you don't want to come to the festival, then just avoid the area if you can.
I get that. I try to avoid a lot of areas. I live off from Lantana right now, and that is becoming the new Homestead area because
Yeah.
it is a nightmare. It is a nightmare. And I know everyone's making jokes about why would they wait until the first day of school, and it does feel that way. But yeah, it's a nightmare. So, this is is my payback for every parent who was like, Homestead is like, it's horrible. You know, they posted about it on Facebook, and I'm like, what are they complaining about it? Oh, my hands are itching to complain about Lantana now. So
I know.
I understand it, but
Yep.
I think the roads are going to look better.
It absolutely will. And once all the grass comes in and everything like that, I mean, it's going to be better and safer in the end, and that's what should be important to everybody else.
It looks different. It's definitely had a facelift,
Yeah.
but it is an improvement. It absolutely is. It looks so good. I was really excited to see that last night. But we've talked about the Apple Fest, about what we're going to expect for it, you know, the entertainment. But I want to know what your favorite part of the Homestead Apple Festival is. I know it was food in the kid zone, but you got to be a little bit more specific.
I know.
You're like, more food.
So to be 100% honest, my favorite part about it is when it's all over.
She's speaking from the perspective of an event planner. It's not that she hates it.
I don't, and it's because at the end of it, it's all worth it.
Yeah.
And I get to see everybody so happy, and I get to see all of the hopefully positive feedback on social media and other places. And it's that sense of accomplishment to know that we were able to provide something like this for our community. But I am really excited for the new Kids Zone vendor. And then I also secretly love the pageant as well. And of course, all of the food. But just being there and knowing that I get to be, honestly, even just like a little part of it,
Yes.
just makes me just so happy. And so I just really look forward to it all coming together. Because right now
Yes.
it's like this crazy mess of everything that needs to get done or we haven't even thought about. So when I can, like Sunday morning, I think that's my favorite part because I can finally breathe. We've gotten through Saturday, which is like the
That's the
busier
big one,
day.
yeah.
And so, you know, I love the festival itself. I mean, it's definitely something my family would go to anyways.
Yeah.
And now my family all helps. My husband and my son, they both volunteer to help run it all. So it's now like just this family thing that has really just become so important to me. And it's just crazy that I moved there not even knowing anything about it and now to
Hey,
be this entrenched.
You know, we moved here when I was 12, and I had no idea what the homesteads were either. I just didn't. So you don't feel like you slacked on your history because, you know, I remember learning about the New Deal and all that other stuff, but I had no idea that the homesteads were a thing.
Right.
Like, I even went to Homestead
Right.
for 7th and 8th grade. And it wasn't until about then that I realized, oh, this is actually like a really cool thing here. And that's really neat.
Yeah, and that's why I said our focus this year, we obviously partner with Homestead Elementary, but our museum manager is going to start reaching out to a lot of the local schools to, you know, offer up field trips, or they have these little like museum artifact boxes that she can put together and take to the school and teach them all about it, because I really feel like if you live here, that's one of the big things that you should kind of know about just because it's so important to our history.
It is. I'm curious, and this goes back to like what's one of your favorite things. When it is all said and done, do you spend like days after just unwinding and sleeping and like, hey, you can't get in touch with me. I'm completely unplugged for a while. I'm just curious, do you get like that? I get like that after festivals.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Like it just takes so much out of you. And just the physical part of it too. I mean, I'm on my feet basically all day Friday,
In the
Saturday,
sun,
and Sunday.
or in the rain.
It's no, don't say that word.
no.
That's
no.
not gonna
but it's exhausting.
Yeah.
You know, weathers you.
I know. And we've had such good luck with the weather, and hopefully it will continue to be good. Usually that time of year it is, so I'm not all that worried about it. But yeah, and the board even jokes about, like, we don't text for like a week after that. Like, we're all done with each other.
Right.
We're all done with people kind of in general, and we just kind of take that time to, like I said, enjoy that.
Decompress.
Yeah, and enjoy that sense of accomplishment that we've been able to pull off something like that, which is a huge accomplishment.
It's
in
a
my opinion.
huge event. I don't remember what it was 20 years ago. I do remember performing at it probably back in 2008, 2009, that kind of. And it was big, but it was nothing like it is today.
Right. Yep.
And so the fact that you guys have pulled that off is just astounding.
Yep. And like I said, with a relatively small board, I mean, we have lots of volunteers.
Right.
We have a lot of people who love what we do and want to help with it. So we are very appreciative for that. We're all set on volunteers for this year's festival. But if anybody ever wants to volunteer with anything else, you know, we will always take that. And we have 3 wonderful employees that run both the tower and the house museums for us. So we're very blessed to have the support that we do, but it's still pretty amazing that a board of only 7 people now, really, we do the majority of it.
It's a small board. And I guess I never really thought about it until last night when we were walking on the grounds, how small the space is for what feels like a massive, massive festival.
Yep.
Like, I feel like I don't cover the festival. Like, I miss aisles and vendors.
Probably.
And then I'm looking out there and I'm like, how do you miss that? This it's like a small little area.
I know. Well, that's when people say there's nothing Apple there, and I'm like, how could you miss all of it? But you definitely can.
Yes.
And that's why we do have a lot of people that come on Saturday, especially like to get the apples that they want and all that kind of stuff. And then they come back on Sunday to really enjoy it and to shop all the booths and stuff like that. Because to be honest, you do need, because you can't do it all day long on Saturday.
No.
If you could come for those 2 days, you'd be able to really experience everything.
Right. So can you tell the listeners a little bit about where they can stay updated on announcements and any other information, like Facebook links, any of that good stuff?
We do everything on Facebook. Our website is just very, very simple. It's basically got the dates on it. But I am one of the admins for the Cumberland Homesteads Facebook page. So that's where we do everything. There's an event created, a Facebook event created for the Apple Festival and also for the pageants. You can click going, so you make sure it's on your calendar and you remember it. But it's mostly just posting on our main Facebook page is how we communicate. And I do want to put a word out that, we're full up on vendors now, and we still have a lot of those scammers that sit there and comment on my posts.
Oh my gosh.
They comment on my post back in May and say, hey, we have spots available. And I know a couple of the local vendors have reached out to me and said, I almost got scammed. And I have to go on there every single day. I'm not lying, every single day, and block and delete those. So if you're not working with myself or Sheila Long, you're not on the list. You're probably not coming.
Oh
like
my
if you
gosh.
don't know, reach out to somebody, because it's really unfortunate that people take advantage of other people like that.
Oh, I hate it.
And because we use Facebook for everything, we open ourselves up to that.
Absolutely.
But, Facebook, in my opinion, Facebook's king in this town. So
It really
if it's not on
is.
Facebook, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. It
Yeah.
doesn't. No, I get the scammers even on my music page when, I'm like, I've got this event and some of my events are not ticketed. And they're like, we still have tickets. I'm like, no, you don't. And you can just show up and order a steak and you'll enjoy my show. It's one of those deals.
And that was another reason we were hesitant to go with online ticketing because of stuff like that. So, if you have any questions, reach out to us. Send us a private message on our Facebook page. It would most likely be me answering it. And that's where I'm really going to start posting about all of our amazing sponsors. We couldn't do it without them. And then I'm going to start highlighting a lot of our vendors. I typically highlight the new ones just so everybody knows what's new from last year. But that's usually where I communicate everything as much as I can on there. Once it get closer, we'll have the full map on there, the full list of vendors, parking information, all of that good stuff. So if you need anything, just reach out or just go to our Facebook page to get the most accurate, current information.
And the Homestead Facebook page it's Cumberland Homestead.
Yeah, it's just
Towers. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
I think it's just Cumberland Homesteads.
Cumberland Homesteads.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I
So
think if you
there you
search
go. Because
Cumberland
I know that
Homesteads-
I will search it and like a million different people have checked into different things.
I
And I'm
know.
like, oh, that's not it.
I know, yeah. The one that's probably people have checked in the most, the profile picture has the tower with like a vintage pickup truck. I know, because sometimes there's profiles out there that I don't even know exist. But if you get in there and you see that there's we post almost every single day. So I think that too tells when it's the real one versus non-real one, if there's more activity on it.
Awesome. Andrea, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to add?
I have wanted to highlight all of the new stuff and, of course, encourage everyone to come out and, experience all of it and really support the homesteads. Like I said, this is our only fundraising event for the year, and
Yeah.
if we don't have a successful Apple Festival, it's really hard for us to continue to operate. So it's really important for so many reasons, and of course, it's a lot of fun. You'll find lots of Apple stuff. We also have a special 20th anniversary Apple Festival t-shirt that we're going to be selling.
Ooh.
So this will be the only year that you can get that. So I did want to mention that as well. But yeah, that's really about it. I hope everyone comes out and that we have good weather and that we can just all enjoy, supporting all of our local vendors and have a good time.
And what is the date? for like it's September
Yes.
20.
That would be really important.
I know. It's like I sit here thinking, I'm like, well, we've talked about everything. I think we've got it all covered except when it happens.
Yes, of
We know it's a
course.
Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, it's the last weekend in September. It's the 28th and the 29th.
Yeah.
The Apple Festival runs Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 9 to 4. And when we shut down at 4, everybody cleans up and it's all gone and you don't even know it was there. And like I said, it's $5 cash at the door. We have 3 gates that they can come into. It's behind the Homestead Tower, so it's between the Homestead Tower and Homestead Elementary. The physical address is basically where 68 and 127 split. The physical address is 96 Highway 68. But if you're just coming out of town where it splits, where all the construction has been and all that good stuff, that's right at the corner of that, right in front of the Homestead Elementary School.
Awesome. And I'm glad that you put the address. I know that a lot of people that may be listening are thinking, well, we all know where Homestead is. But let's talk about this influx of newbies to our area. And I encourage them to come out and check it out. And, you know, like you said, you buy a ticket for Saturday, you get to come back on Sunday. That covers 2 days. And it even covers going through the museum, the Tower Museum, correct?
Absolutely, and I encourage people to do that, especially if you haven't. We have 3 different rooms. We also have a gift shop in there that's all local vendors, all handmade stuff, and that's there year-round. You can come to that anytime, but sometimes the vendors set up there in the gift shop during Apple Festival just to kind of meet people. And then, of course, you can climb the tower.
Yeah.
And that is the best view of the festival itself. It's 96 steps up to the top
Now,
of the
did
tower.
they tell you that, or did you feel it and know that it was 96 steps? Like, it was 96 steps, and like my thighs told me so.
I'm not gonna lie, it kind of feels like more than that, but there is a sign because I'm sure obviously somebody counted it at some point. But it's a beautiful view as it is,
Yeah.
especially once all the construction's it's gonna be beautiful. But that is like the best view of the festival because I mean when you're in it and it's all around you, it seems like a lot. But when you can get up there and see the view, and of course the view of all of the rest of the homesteads as well, so yeah, you can do all of that. That's included in your ticket price. When you come to the festival.
I have never done the Tower Museum tour during the festival.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking, ooh, I kind of want to do that and see, just
Yeah.
kind of be the overseer of the whole
Exactly.
thing. That'll be kind of cool. So that's my goal this year at the Apple Fest.
Yeah,
That and an apple pie.
And when you come during Apple Festival, it's obviously a little different. You won't get probably that full tour experience.
No.
You could always come back, make sure that you go through the tour at the Tower Museum, and then when you, on a normal day, on a non-Apple Festival day, when you come in, you get your ticket for both of the museums. You could see the tower, and then you go out on Pigeon Ridge Road, where you go through the state park, and you see a original homestead house that was hit by a tornado in 2002, I want to say, and we bought it and restored it. And it's all absolutely beautiful, and you get to see all of the artifacts like from that time and how they lived and how, you know, their day-to-day life kind of was. I don't think we'll have the house open during Apple Festival because it's all hands on deck.
Right.
Out at the tower.
We don't have anybody to spare for that place.
We do have 3 wonderful employees that are, that run both of those, but I think they're all going to be at the Apple Festival. So if you do want to have that true experience not during Apple Festival, you absolutely can come out and take a look at things and really learn, more about the story of it. But then you can come and see it for the Apple Festival as well.
Well, you heard it all here, folks. Thank you so much, Andrea. I really appreciate you taking the time and telling me a little bit about, the Cumberland Homesteads, the Apple Festival, and what I need to expect working with you guys. I've been thrown into the fire. But I appreciate it, and we encourage everyone to go to the Homestead Apple Festival this year. It's their 20th anniversary, 90th anniversary of the community standing, and thank you so much, Andrea.
Thank you for having me.
When you're coming down, it's right off Interstate 40. It's my beloved hometown, Crossville, Tennessee. And when I leave, I feel so sad, not just because of mom and dad. It's for my love of hometown, Crossville, Tennessee.
Looking for the perfect gift for someone you love? Perhaps you're in search of something unique to treat yourself. Discover the beauty of uniquely created hand-stamped jewelry. Locally owned and crafted with love, our collection features rings, bracelets, keychains, and pendants made from durable aluminum and paired with natural beads. Enjoy necklaces on sterling silver-plated chains and earrings with sterling silver hooks for a touch of elegance. Each piece is hand-stamped and one of a kind, making it uniquely yours. Plus, we offer custom orders, and we ship nationwide. Find us on Facebook and Instagram today and fall in love with your perfect piece, uniquely created just for you. Uniquely created hand-stamped jewelry in Crossville. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of What's Up Crossville. We want to give a shout out to the amazing sponsors for their support. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Leave us a review, and don't forget to share this episode with a friend. For more information about What's Up Crossville, visit us at whatsupcrossville.com. There, you can find upcoming episodes, resources mentioned in the episode, and even recommend future guests. Please note that the views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of the individual speakers and do not represent the policy or positions of this show, its related entities, advertisers, or the Southern Spitfire brand. While our discussions may cover a variety of topics, the content of What's Up Crossville is intended to inform, inspire, and entertain. It should not be used as a substitute for professional advice. For medical, financial, legal, or other professional advice, we encourage our listeners to seek the expertise of a licensed professional who can provide personalized guidance. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode of What's Up Crossville.